Welcome back to the Inner Circle. I'm Brennan Wright.
I'm Lawrence Algie.
And I'm Tyler Phillips, Mr. Interrupt a Lot.
And this week we sat down and watched Flavors of Youth.
Oh, man.
Well,
takes me back.
It's said from the creators of Your Name, and it shows in terms of animation quality. I would say in terms of style, but I can see some other anime directors kind of having a similar flair to their work. But overall, it's very pretty to look at. It was very pleasant to the eyes.
Very beautiful. Even the background just amazes me. Animation was definitely I would say it was probably the highest mark on the budget. I mean, honestly, it was beautiful.
I really enjoyed the camera movements they used in this film, because, wow. Like, especially in the second and the third one, there were a lot of turn shots, a lot of mood panning.
Yeah.
It was great.
Okay, so you just said the second and third one. I want to go ahead and talk about, me and Brandon did not expect this to be a compilation movie.
No.
So, when we saw it end, I was like, that looks like the perfect ending. He's like, yeah. I'm like, wait, is it it's starting a new series. Like, what's going on here?
Well, Tyler obviously didn't watch Fun and Fancy Free as a child.
No, I did not.
It's like there's a lot of movies out there that like to do short stories all combined, and sometimes an unpopular example that just pops into the mind as well is Crash, where it's like the thing is they're all connected more so than this. This is just like a bunch of Crash. You haven't seen Crash? It's not that good. Don't watch it.
Just imagine
it won 2005 picture that whatever. And so Tyler was like, this is gonna suck, and I was like, it's gonna be great. I was like, if the stories are great. The first one has Crispin Freeman coming in to dub over. Did you watch the dub?
Yeah.
That was a beautiful voice. And I will say, Crispin Freeman sounds like this guy that's in my class his name's Ben Norton. And I even told Ben today, I was like, you sound like this guy. And I played it for him. He's like, he freaked out. He's like, I actually do sound like that. And that's weird.
Okay, Crispin Freeman is known for doing, his voice has such heavy bass in it. And he also does famous roles such as Kyon from The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. He did the main love interest from Chobits. And he was also for some reason the scarecrow, or what's the scarecrow creature that hops around or follows the house in Howl's Moving Castle, if anyone's seen that.
I have, and I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. But he's done so many great roles. Just to see him in this little short, the shortest of all three, by the way, to just be his big love for noodles. His big love for noodles.
That man did love his noodles, and I will say, it's weird because it made it relatable.
No,
it's just talking about. It talked about his morning, wake up to go to see noodles, and it was his routine. And the fact that he lost that in a day, that's like you losing coffee for a couple years.
Whatever. He had a fetish for noodles.
No, he had a fetish for the girl riding the bike to school beside him.
But it was only because he was eating noodles. I bet if he saw that girl and wasn't eating noodles, he wouldn't feel the same way. He gets turned on by noodles.
We are horrible people. Anyways, moving on to the next set.
He had noodles.
I'm just imagining after of noodles, you put the peas colors.
But it's this one is a little bit more thoughtful instead of just, I don't know, that one was, I guess the first one was more poetic.
Okay, so in the first one, it was definitely all voiceover for the most part. The second one, it became an actual interaction between a sister and her sister, her agent, her younger sister, her agent, all this talent, and this little girl who just pisses everybody off. I hated the pink-haired girl.
Yeah, I mean, she was just, I don't know, she just seemed like a young girl full of ambitious and a little,
cockiness.
A little cocky.
She was very cocky.
Very cocky.
I wasn't mad at her, though. I was just like, people like this exist, I believe. But it's or we know. But it's just okay, it's just something you have to deal with. In the film world, even in every major, there's always that little punk kid that's cocky. It's I know this. It's okay.
Those are usually the people who don't make it, though.
That's true. It's very ironic.
We have those in IT as well.
Oh, no. But yeah, the cute little story doesn't go too deep.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of a makes me feel good.
Yeah.
And then the last one, my favorite.
It's my favorite too.
And my favorite.
The third bit is
sorry.
it started off, and honestly, I thought this was the same guy from the first story, and I was like betting Brandon. I was like, this is Crispin Freeman.
I was like,
this is the same guy, just grown up.
No, if you know,
I was wrong.
If you know Crispin Freeman's voice as much as I do, you know that's not Crispin Freeman. It's like Crispin Freeman just sounds so distinct, and this guy just sounded like he had that kind of deep growly voice, or just like
Brandon, do you get an arousal from Crispin Freeman's voice?
No, I just know a good. Okay, if I get aroused by voices, I would also be aroused by Wendy Lee's voice or other voice actors. They're not in this movie, okay? But essentially, it's not Crispin Freeman, but this guy's voice is also very sexy.
It is. It's very,
like,
very
so
nice.
When he's flirting, it's like so. His voice is so monotone. Honestly, if this voice actor was in anything else, he'd probably suck, because he was just like so monotone the entire time, even when he shouldn't have been.
That's exactly how I felt watching him. He's no tone, very rarely any emotion in his voice.
There was parts where he has no emotion, and the character's just sitting there smiling. Yep. I was like, dang. He said a very depressing line while smiling. This is not okay.
Actually, I loved it. I loved that.
But I did like it.
Yeah, but sometimes when he was like yelling, he's like, "Come back here." It's like, it's like very monotone, and it didn't work. But sometimes it like made the line better.
Okay, so now do we want to go back through and talk about spoilers, like what happened in the movies?
Well, we kind of didn't. I think we kind of went through it all right.
But we were talking about the art style. We never talked about what happened in the story.
We talked about voice actors. We talked about art style. Same creators as Your Name.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we talked about that. I prefer this over Your Name.
Yes, I do. Okay,
I don't know.
Story-wise, I loved Your Name, and it was great.
Yeah.
But for rewatchability, I will easily rewatch Flavors of Youth any day.
I'm more of a character boy, and so when Your Name was like all these twists and turns in the story, I didn't give a crap about the characters. In Your Name, I really didn't care about the characters too much. They were kind of cookie cutter for me, and like the story overshadowed any semblance of character that they had, and the love story felt extremely rushed.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I could agree with that.
The story is amazing, though.
The love story was a little rushed. They could have taken more time for them to actually develop these feelings for each other than the way they kind of like montaged it out.
There's like a Disney level montage was like J-Rock.
Yeah, there was.
Like the more I watch Your Name, the more I'm like, oh, it's a good movie, but I wouldn't I'd recommend it to like, I don't know.
It's one I'll recommend to my friends. It's not one I'll watch again by myself.
Oh, definitely not.
But
Flavors of Youth. I'll watch Flavors of Youth just to fall asleep to Crispin Freeman talking about his love for noodles.
I will say that's awesome.
And the fact that his grandma made noodles. Not his grandma. I feel like when his grandma died, he was just thinking about how much he just wanted her noodles.
Yeah, he just wanted to go eat noodles with her.
Well, Grandma, who I eat noodles with?
So something I really appreciated in this was me and Brandon came back from Savannah, and we just saw Perfect Blue, which, oh my goodness, that's amazing. If you ever get a chance to see it, which it's hard to see in America, it's amazing. I was impressed by it. I loved Perfect Blue. It was one of those movies that just blows you away. The fact that we came home after that and we watched that and I was still loving it, kind of made me I really would have been impressed. Yeah, I appreciated it a lot more.
I think this one is better than Your Name.
And Your Name just had that wow factor at the beginning. Like that first experience was amazing, but it's no longer there.
Yeah, Flavors of Youth. I will rewatch that love story and be like the third story. Yes. I will say the first story about the noodles completely lost on me, but I will take those memes.
Yeah.
About his lust for noodles. It's just okay. At the end of the movie, spoiling it, they all get together. Or they all see each other kind of in the airport.
He still didn't have his noodles.
He still didn't have his noodles, but Jesus Christ, did he want those noodles? I could tell he was like...
Yeah. But I love how, in such a short amount of time, they introduced, so many characters, gave every character a backstory, and made it deep.
And they cared...
That's hard to do in 30 minutes.
I cared about almost every single character.
Yes.
Your Name didn't have me caring about almost any of the characters.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah, I don't care. I like the story. I think the characters suck. I really like Your Name though in terms of like how the story, like plot threads were written.
Yeah.
I'll give that. But I hate that we've used this time just to compare it to Your Name, but that's just what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
But also, I'm just a sucker for character-driven stories.
It's so good. But so we're getting close to time. Final scores.
I'll give it a dub over sub.
It was a good dub. It was a good
It
film.
was a great dub.
I'll give it a dub over sub.
So I'm giving it, because we just saw Perfect Blue, I feel like my score is tainted, but I'm still going to give it like a 9 because I know it's that high. It should be.
8.
I'll go for the perfect 10. You know what?
Ooh.
Wait. Okay, why did you like it as much as like to make it a 10? I don't think we ever got that from you.
I don't know. I really enjoyed the poeticness of the first one. It's very beautiful. It's like reminds me of like a poem that he's presenting to like a class or something. Very beautiful. I loved it. I liked the way he talked about the noodles. It made me hungry.
Yeah.
It made me very.
What's your favorite?
very
What's your favorite food, Lawrence?
Fried rice, actually.
Would you make a poetic like thing about your lust for fried rice?
Then
Not on that level.
tune in next week where we have a love story between Lawrence and his rice.
I would love how my grandma would not make me fried rice. I never loved her again because she never made me fried rice.
But yeah, all right. Well, guys, we didn't really spoil that much in this, so
There really
go
isn't.
watch. There's nothing. It's just a good
Nothing
story.
to spoil.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally just what you expect. It's what you would expect, the movie. But it's like so entertaining to watch these characters like interact with each other.
Yep.
Because it's so natural. The characters are just like so relatable. I love every single one of them. And the dub actors definitely add a bit of charm to it. Crispin Freeman's like lust for noodles really brings me into the zone.
But yeah, so go watch Crispin Freeman's Love for Noodles and, and the rest of the stories, and tell us what you think. So we shall see you next time. I believe what we're going to be watching is Sarah Burgess is a Loser.
That's not very nice to say.
She seems pretty cool. I only watched the trailer once.
I like her.
I can't wait to see Peter 10 times more in the most recent teen drama of the week.
Anyways, see you next week, guys. Bye.